Okay, so for all you big Will Ferrell fans, all the people who love the thing he did with Mark Wahlberg, you know, recently he did The Other Guys, which was directed by Adam McKay, the guy who also directed Step Brothers and Anchorman and Talladega Nights. Now, Ferrell and Wahlberg are attached to a film called Turkey Bowl, but we're thinking that the name might be changed to Three Mississippi. Now, it's not confirmed that McKay will be directing the film, but we have just found out that Alec Baldwin could be on board, and this is interesting because the guys who are writing the film also write 30 Rock, and obviously he is so funny in that. If you haven't seen that programme, oh my gosh, go and watch it. Alec Baldwin and Tina Fey together in it are just so funny. But there's also word that my favourite man at the moment, Renner, I've mentioned him every video. How does he do this? He could also be joining. He could be an ex-convict. So again, maybe playing to type there with some of the roles he's had before. Obviously the role that he was Oscar nominated for in The Town, but this could be a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing because McKay has said, well, if McKay joins, obviously we know what he's like. Anchorman was absolutely chock full, stacked to the brim full of cameos. As I said, we don't know McKay's directing, but if he does, obviously I think we can expect a bit of a riot here. I think everyone's kind of waiting for a return to form for Ferrell because some of the films like Semi, if you're American, Semi-Pro, you know, they've not been as great as his other films. So this will be interesting, and I definitely think him and Wahlberg work very well together in The Other Guy, so giving them another chance here would be fantastic. And also, Mark Wahlberg is absolutely, he's flying really, because I mean, obviously he missed out on an Oscar nomination for The Fighter, but he got fantastic recognition for that, and he's working with David O. Russell at the moment as well. And he's also got Seth MacFarlane's film, Ted, which definitely keep your eyes out for because that's going to be hilarious. So let me know what you think. Are you bored of Will Ferrell doing all these pair-up buddy films? Do you prefer the kind of thing he's doing at the moment? You know, his latest film where he's a bit more sensitive? Or for you, is he still Ron Burgundy? Let me know. Now, I was saying last week how we weren't sure who the role of Tom Buchanan in Baz Luhrmann's The Great Gatsby was going to be going to. I told you that Joel Edgerton and Luke Evans are both read for the role. We've just found out that Joel Edgerton has got the role. Now, I also told you last week that you might not know him too well, but you definitely will because he's starring alongside Tom Hardy in Warrior, which, as I said, there's been a lot of posters and trailers for on the internet. But, surprisingly, I had a look back at him and he's been in a lot more films than I actually realised. Both the Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones, Ned Kelly, Kinky Boots, and most recently the critically acclaimed Animal Kingdom, which Jackie Weaver was nominated for an Oscar for. So maybe have a look back over some of those because I know most of you will have Star Wars, and have a look and see if you can spot him and see what you think. As you can tell simply from the films I just read out to you, he's obviously caught Hollywood's attention. I mean, he's had pretty good, significant supporting roles there. He's not been just a glorified extra, really. I mean, obviously in other films he has been, but he's gonna fly to the top, this man, and I can't say I told you here first because obviously he's been in all these Hollywood films, but keep your eyes on him. But I think Baz Luhrmann may just turn him into a star. More news on Sam Raimi's Oz, the Great and Powerful. I told you about Rachel Weisz joining last week. Now we've had word on who has been cast to play Glinda, the Good Witch. Now the choice is Michelle Williams. For me, I love that. I think, quite simply, I think she's just got this ethereal sort of beauty and charm about her, especially as we know she's playing Marilyn Monroe in My Week with Marilyn, and just seeing her with that cute little elflin pixie haircut, it's really shallow of me, but she just looks so cute, and I just think as Glinda, she's perfect. Obviously, that's just how she looks. I've yet to negotiate how her acting would work, but I think she's very, very talented. You know, she's definitely flown the nest from playing Jen in Dawson's Creek. But the interesting thing here is that apparently Sam Raimi didn't actually want her in the role. Apparently he wanted Hilary Swank. Now, when I think of Glinda the Good Witch, I can't say I think of Hilary Swank, two-time Oscar winner. Now, she's got the chops, no doubt about it, and I'm not saying that wouldn't be a great role for her, but I don't see Glinda being a really meaty role. But maybe that's something that Hilary wanted. Maybe, you know, maybe the studio were trying to get her something a bit different, a bit against type, because recently she hasn't been going for these Oscar, I'm not thinking Oscar bait, but you know, the kind of films that tend to get recognised amongst the Academy. She's been doing a few straight-to-DVD ones, she's done a few horror ones. She obviously had the one with Sam Rockwell recently as well, Conviction. But she hasn't been going for the kind of thing she was before, like the biopics, her Amelia Earhart picture. She hasn't been doing her kind of Big Boys Don't Cry. But actors need their variety. So that'd be interesting to know whether that really was the case. But for me, personally, I don't see Swank being the perfect sort of choice there. I think Michelle Williams is a great choice, and I look forward to seeing who else will be playing alongside her. Now, Disney's The Lone Ranger is a film that has had a lot of casting buzz and hype around it for blimmin' ages, because Johnny found out that Armie... Now, after having his proper big break in The Social Network as the Winklevoss twins, he has got a lot of films coming out. He's really caught Hollywood's eye. He's going to be in the J. Edgar Hoover biopic, J. Edgar, and he's also just been cast as Tarsem's Prince Andrew in Snow White. So he's got a nice little mixed bag to work with here. Again, he's, like I was just saying about Hilary Swank, he's not just going for one thing. He's got a nice broad spectrum here, and for a guy who used to be on Gossip Girl, he's done pretty well. So I'm liking this casting. He's obviously got great comic timing that we saw in The Social Network, as I've mentioned previously, and I think him and Depp, the banter between them, just the way they bounce off each other, I think is going to be absolutely brilliant and fascinating to watch. So really excited about this project. Depp's been on it since 2008, so who knows how many script changes it's been through. You never know this sort of thing, and as I said, this is the kind of thing I don't want Dark Tower to end up getting into if it keeps getting pushed back and pushed back because of financial problems. But I think the main thing with this really was finding the right Lone Ranger. So hopefully Armie Hammer's the guy and this project will get off to a good start and Disney will have a very successful film on their hands here. Now, I'm sure most of you, like me, have been so excited by the release of the picture of Bane, Tom Hardy's character from Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. As we know, Christopher Nolan likes to be a bit cryptic with us. He likes to keep us guessing, as we definitely saw mostly when he did The Dark Knight with the Joker on the website and, you know, the why so serious and trying to uncover all these bits on the website. And he's done it again. Stellar return to form, Sir Nolan. You've risen to the challenge and exceeded our expectations, but unfortunately it all got cracked a little bit quicker than I think he would have liked. If you use Twitter, hashtag the fire rises, because what happened was if you did that and you kept mentioning it, your picture, your sort of display picture, you know, like on Facebook or whatever, what would happen is that would make up part of a picture and you'd make up this massive pixelated image. And we found out that was the first image of Bane. Previous to uncovering this bit, and I didn't get to the website quick enough to see this bit, but what it was just like a noise, almost like a chanting, and apparently what it was there was some very clever thing in there where if you found the right pitch, the people who, I don't know how we did it, the people who uncovered this, the pitch corresponded to saying the fire rises. So obviously some clever guy goes, oh, the fire rises, puts it on Twitter, and that's how we find out about this picture. Now, Tom Hardy, what can I say? Definitely looking like a return to his sort of Bronson stature. Obviously this picture, we only see him from behind. That's enough to see the huge muscles he's got going on, and if you haven't seen Bronson, do. I mean, the guy just transformed. You see him in Inception, and you see him in Bronson, and you see him again now, completely different man. But he's always been the casting I've been most excited about within The Dark Knight Rises, so I cannot wait to see more pictures. I want to see his face properly. He's got like a gas mask on this, so leave me your feedback about what you think about him playing Bane, what you think Bane might be, where his origins will be, if he's going to stick to the comic book. I'd really like to know what you think. And also, as my good friend Charlie Bentley pointed out to me, in some of the photos there's a cat eye. Now I don't know if this is something that was added on after, because in the original one that I've got, there isn't one, but I know that I've seen it as well. So I don't know if this is like a fanboy thing that's come in, or as Charlie said, maybe Christopher Nolan's released maybe like 2. I doubt it, I don't know, but let me know what you think. I'd love to know your opinions, and we know it's going to keep us guessing. It's only a matter of time before we get Selena Kyle and our first glimpse of Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. I briefly mentioned the Cannes Film Festival last week. This week, it's all gone a little bit crazy. Last week I was jealous. This week I was a bit more perplexed and amused by the situation. Poor old Lars von Trier. I say poor, I'm not sympathising, I'm just, you know, bit of a situation he got himself in there, wouldn't you say? Kirsten Dunst, she got Best Actress for her part in Melancholia, which is von Trier's film. And Nicolas Winding Refn, I don't know how you pronounce his surname, I hope it's Refn, he got the Best Director for Drive, which the reviews have been amazing for. And Ryan Gosling, I absolutely love, and the idea of Ryan Gosling and Carey Mulligan sharing screen time together, he deserved the directing award. But the big shock seemed to be that Terrence Malick's Tree of Life walked away with the Palme d'Or, the big prize of Cannes for those of you who don't really follow the festival. Now, quite a few people have said that they thought it was a bit of a shoe-in because Tree of Life also sort of took over last year's Cannes because everyone was really excited about it and the buzz was really there. But I think that's a little unfair. I think you've got to take the film on its own merit. So really looking forward to seeing it Malick, I think, is wonderful. I love his films. You know, I've only recently seen Badlands, and that for me was just wonderful. So really looking forward to seeing his newest film. And you know, I'm not going to judge it till I see it, but as soon as you've seen it, I would really, really appreciate the feedback. Please, please feel free to post anything on my Twitter or my Facebook or on my YouTube channel. I literally would love to hear from you, and the more you put down, then the more I can talk about next week. Something I really do want your opinion on is the potential for a Carrie remake. It seems a little like sacrilege, to be honest, and even Stephen King has said that he doesn't see how it would work. He doesn't see the point of it, and he's actually said that he only thinks it could work under either of the two Davids, Cronenberg or Lynch. So, do you think those directors would be good for it? Do you see the need for someone else? Do you hate the idea? Do you hate the original? Would you rather a new one? Have you seen the original? Let me know. Now here's something I know a lot of you will have a very strong opinion on. I know Titanic, for a lot of you, is one of your all-time favourite films. Girls, I'm looking mainly at you. And to commemorate the fact that there is a massive anniversary coming up, the 100th year anniversary, James Cameron is going to re-release the film, and he's going to re-release it in 3D in cinemas. Now, I've had quite a heated response from the men on my Facebook page, and a couple of them have, you know, been quite vocal. Chris Meeby, he said that he thought that Titanic is awful and it's too long, and he's sure, though, mostly women will turn up to Cameron's reinvention. He also possibly likened it to Lucas and the fact that the Star Wars films are going to be re-released in 3D as well. They will start a month before this Titanic release. Liam Olsen slightly disagrees. He says although he's utterly sick of Lucas, he'll still probably check out the 3D release of Star Wars, but Titanic was a cinematic success despite the fact that it made a lot of Titanic historians mad. Less about the majesty of the ship and more about a peasant getting it on with a posh bird. Love the phrase of his northerners. He says he doesn't really think that it's the best way to commemorate the event, if he's honest, although the 3D will add to the sinking of the ship. I think a lot of people would agree with you there, Liam. Alex Carr goes a little bit further. He says that his dream career, bless him, growing up was to be a Titanic historian, and that sadly the film ruined it for him as everyone became an expert after the film came out and they came to him asking him stupid questions about Jack and Rose. However, he thinks that the attention to detail was spectacular and that on the 3D, you know, massive screen, this could be a really, really great thing to see. So what I've said, you know, historians were offended anyway, so this re-releasing of it in 3D is going to re-insult the historians. But is there anyone out there that's excited about this? Let me know. I'd like a different side of a story, and boys, you know, not just girls, let me know. Okay, posters this week. I have Tintin, I have a really lovely Japanese Super 8 poster, I have 4 Horrible Bosses posters, and I have Friends with Benefits poster. Photos, I've got 40 plus X-Men First Class photos. I've got your first look at Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss Everdeen in The Hunger Games. I've got teaser images for Paul Thomas Anderson's new film, which is going to be with Joaquin Phoenix and Philip Seymour Hoffman. And then I've got Emma Watson. I've got her first set photos from Perks of Being a Wallflower. Trailers, we've got the Tintin teaser finally. I've got a UK version of Larry Crown with Julia Roberts and Tom Hanks. I've got Mr Popper's Penguins, another one. I've got Cars 2 trailer, but it's all made out of Lego. I've also got Transformers 3. Oh my gosh, seriously. As much as I don't want to like Michael Bay, that trailer gives me shivers. Please go and watch it. I don't know what it is about it. Really gives you crazy shivers. But the best one of the lot is the Green Lantern trailer. Made for 3D, but seriously, I've never seen a trailer like it. It gives you the whole background to the sort of Green Lantern Corps. Brilliant idea, completely brilliant novel idea. It's narrated by Jeffrey Rush, who plays Tom R. Ray. The idea of giving you the backstory, fantastic, something that Watchmen maybe should have done, means we go in there and we have a bit of an understanding, and seriously, brilliant idea. Clips, I've got 4 Super 8 clips, and they're very reminiscent of Spielberg's sort of older films. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, definitely, you'll really see it if you go and watch them. X-Men, I've got 2, I've got sort of the relationship between Beast and Mystique. I've got 2 Transformers ones, I've got 2 Hangover 2 ones, I've got that Lars von Trier's Can Meltdown, I've got Tree of Life, I've got Mel Gibson's Only Can interview on The Beaver, and I've got a brilliant little clip from Win Win, which has a little bit of info from the director. And then, same as usual, if you pop over to my blog, I've got my Friday clip, and it is all of the Oscar-winning films ever kind of mashed into a bundle.